Hello everyone and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for our webinar on Anyone Can Be a Data Scientist. And we'll present this webinar using a case study. The webinar is being hosted by the DevMasters. The DevMasters is a data science and artificial intelligence training company providing training for data science and artificial intelligence in the cities of Irvine and Santa Monica. We are based out of Southern California, and we welcome you to our webinar. Thank you very much again for joining us. My name is Zia Khan, and I work for the DevMasters as a data scientist. I actually have a background in cloud technologies. I worked for Bell Canada in Canada for about 10 years as a cloud specialist. My role there was to help companies migrate their on-prem applications from on-prem to public cloud. And after working there for many years, I just got a little bit tired of doing the same thing over and over again, and I wanted to start a new or do something different. And for doing something different, what I decided to do was that I had options of going either in security or in data science, and I preferred data science because it's a near field. It actually gets you excited when you're looking at different challenges all the day and every day. So I decided to move into data science about 3 years back, and then I was based out of Vancouver, and I figured out that about 37% of the data scientists around the world live in California. So I decided to move to California, and hence I came here last year. When I came last year, I joined the DevMasters, and I've been working with them from that time. So that was a little bit about me. Now I'll pass the mic over to Kate Ta to introduce herself.
Hello everybody, my name is Kate Ta. I'm also a data scientist with the DevMasters. And a little bit about me, my background is in probability and statistics. I have always liked data. I always find myself affiliated with data and the type of information and analysis that we can utilize just by using some statistical applications with data. And it was only natural for me to become a data scientist because all the data is the most important part about data science, and that's the part where I love the most. So it was a natural progression into data science, essentially. And
so just to add a little bit about the company as well for the company introduction. So as I said, that we are based out of Irvine, and the city of Irvine has been kind enough to award us a couple of awards in 2016. You can see them on the screen, at the top screen there, for specialty schools, special education, as well as for better or small business excellence. So we are really thankful to the city of Irvine for introducing these awards to us. So thank you very much, Kate. So Kate, what's the agenda for today? What are we going to do?
For today's agenda, we started off with about 5 minutes of introduction that we've already gone through. The next 15 minutes will be answering the question, what is data science? And we'll walk you through some real industrial applications of data science in order to help solidify where data science can be used. And we'll open up for Q&A for 5 minutes based on that information. And then we'll move on to the case study and basically explaining to you how we would go about with a data science project, and then at the end show you how we would actually be able to teach you data science, basically our approach. And we'll open it up for Q&A again. And just a quick thing to note that on the side you see that there's if you stay for the end of the webinar and ask us questions during the last Q&A, we'll definitely send you a coupon for $500 off any of our programs. And there's also a special offer for early signups, but you would have to stay at the very end and ask us the question at the last Q&A in order to qualify for it. Okay.
All right, thank you, Kate. So that's great. So let's get started. So the question that we get asked a lot is that how do I become a data scientist, or what do I need to know if I want to be a data scientist? So in our opinion, these are the skills that we believe that are required to become a data scientist. So in the top right corner, you see that you do need to have computer programming skills. There are quite a few point and click tools available that will help you do data science or some parts of data science, just like Tableau and SPSS and SAS. Those are all great, exceptional tools, but most of them are commercial tools, so they do have some licensing cost attached to those. If you're looking for an open source tool, like Python or R, those tools do require some computer programming skills, and then integration with other systems like front-end systems or back-end systems also require you to have some programming skills. So we believe that you do need programming skills. The second, on the lower right-hand side, is statistics. So really, you cannot get away with maths and statistics because data science, the backbone is stats. All the algorithms are statistical algorithms, and that help you analyze the data and maybe make predictions on those. So stats is required as a key component of data science. Now, on the lower left-hand side, telling a story or communication is also a vital part of data science, because whatever you find in your data, the patterns, the analysis that you do of your data, that has to be communicated back and told as a story to maybe stakeholders, to a customer, to your manager, or to your company senior management of whatever you found in your data. So those are all required skills. Now, the top left corner, domain expertise, that is another part of data science which is very unique, because data science is not one-dimensional kind of learning. As you can see, that there are kind of 4 different discrete dimensions or angles that you need to know to be a data scientist, and domain expertise is one of them. Let's take an example. For example, if you have a healthcare data set and you want to analyze that data, and you have DNA sequencing data set, if you do not understand healthcare and if you do not understand DNA sequencing, it will be really difficult for you to make any headways with that data, because that data would have information that you have no idea. And this is not just only applicable to data science. This is to healthcare. It is applicable to other fields as well. It is applicable if you are trying to build a recommendation system for an online website, or it is also applicable if you're trying to do sentiment analysis for an online store, or for a movie, or for a restaurant. So if you any of these domains, you do need to have domain knowledge to become a data scientist. So this is what we believe as an organization, that you do need these skills to become a data scientist. Kate, would you like to add something to this?
Yeah, like Zia said, you cannot get away with not knowing any stats or at least linear algebra in order to be an effective data scientist. But notice how all 4 parts of being a data scientist are not, the pieces are not bigger than one another. That means that you need all 4 in order to be a data scientist. You can't just be exceedingly special in computer programming or just have domain expertise in order to become a data scientist, because you need all 4. And like Zia said, this is like a whole different type of learning situation, because traditionally we just went down one path, and now it's not possible anymore. Well, to be an effective data scientist is not possible anymore. Then I would then like to start by asking, because whenever we go off to conferences also, the second question that comes up is, after we explain what a data scientist is, some companies also ask us, so where does the real value come in when you become a data scientist, right? So this is what we call a data science pyramid. It starts off by at the bottom with records, where we collect the data and then we put them into charts, we clean, we aggregate, we visualize, and then we question the data, and then we write reports based on the data. This is the lower three is basically traditional data analytics, and what separates a data scientist from a data analyst is the next two parts of the pyramid, which includes prediction and action. Predictions is the most important part to a data scientist, where we actually start either recommending, we start understanding, we start inferring, we create predictions based on the data, classify the data, so on and so forth. And then an extension of the recommendation part, we then move on to actions, where we then say, okay, how do we make sure the data goes this way in the end, or how do we make sure our results go this way, or what should we say to the other divisions in our company, saying, okay, how do we use this then? That this is our recommendation part. Yeah. And then so when I was talking about the companies that ask us this, what companies actually use data science? That's kind of like the third question that people ask us. And Zia.
Yeah, so we believe that any company or any industry that has data can leverage data science to optimize, to predict, to get more value from their data. And as Kate was mentioning earlier, that traditional data analytics basically tells you what happened and why did it happen. So the first two components of the pyramid. And the second two components of the pyramid are what will happen, which is the prediction, and the fourth, the actionable insight, is how we can make this happen. And all those are applicable to any of the industries that you see on the screen. So for real estate, you can predict the price of the houses. From there, going on to cybersecurity, to aerospace, to finance, to healthcare. All these industries have large amounts of data, and they can all use data to get more value, try to understand and get a better understanding of their customers and how their customers, what are the buying habits and how they work how they process and the information and how they make sense out of it and how they make their decisions is all what these companies are trying to understand so that they can better serve their customers.
Right.
All right, so now I think at this point, guys, do you have any questions? Anything that we can help answer? This is actually the team that Kate and I work with pretty much on a daily basis. Irshad Khan is our founder. He has a wealth of knowledge in data science and artificial intelligence. And Jay Myers, City, Alan Fuller is our director for recruiting. He is responsible for anybody who takes our course and is interested in looking for a new profession, or they are a fresh graduate and they are interested in starting their first job. Alan actually helps them out, get their resumes right, their LinkedIn right, and then maybe get them in touch with a couple of companies so that he can make the introduction there. So this is the team we work with on a daily basis. All right. So what's the case study today, Kate? What are we going to talk about?
Today we're actually going to talk about Kings County. Kings County is in Washington, over by Seattle, and as you can see in the map here, it's actually quite big. It actually has a lot of houses in there that some have collected data on, and one of the leading industries that use data science is the retail no, not retail, real estate industry, which actually one of the best ways data science is being used is how to calculate the pricing in the house. So, yeah.
All right. So we are going to take a data set from Kings County in Seattle or near Seattle, and we are going to predict the price of the house, is what I'm sensing here, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
So,
very cool. Seattle is kind of like second home to me because living in Vancouver, Seattle is about a couple of hours drive away. So it's that's interesting. That's very cool.
yeah. So,
All right.
when
So sorry. So I see that you have a little bit of a code here, Kate. So can you go over it a little bit so that we can see what you're doing?
yeah. So one of the first steps in the data science project is actually being able to import your data in. So we use Pandas, one of the leading libraries for data science in Python, to actually read the CSV file with all of the data in it, and then we'll actually be able to show what the data displays as by using some of the functions in Pandas. There's also another function that actually shows you the information of the data. So,
all right. I see that on the right hand side you have the info method, and I can see that this data set has about 21,613 rows and 21 columns, and I do see the column names, how many of them are blank or null, and or filled in, and the data type. So that's great, and it seems like that you have already cleaned the data for us, so it's looking pretty nice and tidy.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean, but there's still some data prepping involved. So, yeah, there is actually data in there that is actually not relevant. The ID and the date columns are not. We need to drop those because we can't include those inside in the model just yet. And then on top of
you're basically taking the columns that you don't believe are going to contribute to your algorithm, and you're just taking them out or removing them from your data frame. So you remove the ID and the date. Yeah. And I see that in data transformation you are actually replacing it with some booleans or flags, where you are actually taking that if the house has a basement, you are creating a column called basement present, and then you are flagging it with ones and zeros using lambda functions. So that's very cool. And you also did that for if the house was renovated or not. So we have a couple of new columns added, like renovated and basement present, and you are flagging them with yes and no's using lambdas. Very cool.
Yeah. So this is actually one of the big chunks about data science projects. Actually prepping the data, cleaning the data. It's actually a big chunk of data science.
So generally, Kate, I hear people say and talk a lot about it that in data science, like 70% of the work is getting the data right, so prepping the data. What are your thoughts on that?
I think they're being generous when they say 70%. Sometimes I feel like it's 80% of the work, and there's a lot to deal with most of the time, because data isn't always as clean or in a table as the way we've seen it before. There's a lot of data that can be in several different forms, like images or Twitter feeds or videos for that matter. Those are all considered data, but they're not in their usual data frame forms. So we have to somehow either use the raw data as it is or transform it into data frame, basically. Yeah, so that's a lot.
In short, you can basically say that data prep is a key aspect, covering about 70 to 80% of the work, as you said. And data prep includes cleaning data, transforming data, and doing some feature enhancements or feature engineering in that. So all that is part of data prepping.
Yeah.
All
So,
right.
but
Yeah, go ahead.
the best part actually comes after all the data prepping. We actually move on to modeling after we're satisfied with the data. And for today's case study with Kings County, we've actually decided to use ridge regression on the model. Ridge regression is a type of regression that does not take into account multicollinearity between the columns. So you can have as many features as you want, and they can all be related to each other, and Ridge wouldn't actually care about that. It'll still read the data the way that it should be, and it'll still give you an output. So yeah, so before we actually talk about the modeling though, we actually need to split the data between the training part of the data and the testing part, where we say, okay, let's train our model to understand the data, and then use the second part of the data testing to see how well the model actually did, or how well the model actually understood the data. So
okay, so you basically split your data into two pieces, kind of like training piece and testing piece, and then you train your model on the training piece, you test your model using the testing piece, and figure out that how well you're doing. All right. So you're using ridge regression here, and you're training the data, and then you are going to predict based on that data and see how well you did. And I see that you have a measure here, which is the test error, which is 171,000. Seems like so. So that's the RMSE of your model here. Very good. So so in this way, by doing these very few steps, you are able to take a complete data set, or take a data set and import it into your code, do whatever you need to do, and then split it into train test, and then run your model on top of it, and get a prediction or a result based on that, and then you can calculate the error. So I see that you have done the whole process here, Kate, that you started from importing the data and got to where you calculated your error, so that you can start working on this. The process, guys, does not stop here. When you get your error, you have to try and then minimize the error as much as you can, making sure that you do not overfit on the training side as well. So there is a delicate balance in between where you go, but the goal always is to minimize this error and try to have a minimum error and the best kind of predictions on there.
Yeah, that's very correct, Leah. Most data science projects do not stop here. They actually have to then answer the business question. So yeah.
Very good, very good. So something like this can be used by these real estate sites, where they can ask the user that, okay, tell us what kind of square foot living you are interested in, what how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, and then you can predict or give them an estimate of a price, that okay, this is how much you're looking, your price is going to be, or approximately your price is going to be, based on the criteria that you provided, that you wanted this much square foot living, these many bedrooms, these many bathrooms, lot size of this is approximately what you're looking at. So I can see that this can be implemented, like for many real estate companies. They can use something similar to a similar model like this to help provide an estimate of a price for their users or for their customers. That is excellent.
Yeah. So sometimes when people see this type of work, they say, okay, that was a lot of code, but how did you know what to do and how to do it? So they're essentially asking, how do I learn to become a data scientist? Right? Yeah. And then
yeah. So typically that's the question that you get after that. What do you need to become a data scientist? And then how do I get there? How do I become one?
Yeah. So
I believe that there are many options, Kate, that people can take. There are some online training that a lot of people start with, and they start with some kind of online courses. There are training there are many universities and colleges that provide excellent education. One of the options that people can take is the course that our company offers, because we believe that that the practical aspect or the hands-on aspect of data science is very important, and our course is a hands-on course focused on projects. So we call this program Mastering Applied Data Science, and it's a 12-week course designed for professionals, and it's run on the weekend. So it's run on Saturday and Sunday, so that people who are either working or have a job, or like a consultant, or are going to school and want to do this, they can still do it on the weekends for about 3 months, and they can become a data scientist, or at least get on the path of becoming a data scientist. The course is kind of broken down into 2 portions. The first 6 weeks are the review piece that you see here. It's called the Data Science Applied Labs. And the second piece, the second 6 weeks are called the project-based learning side of it. For those people who are new to coding, or are new to, or haven't done statistics before, taken stats courses before, we do have something that we call it as pre-work. So pre-work is for people who are new to coding, and we just want to make sure that they're comfortable with coding. So we actually have some one-on-one sessions with them, so that we can get them trained, and actually to a point where they can actually code easily and they're comfortable with coding piece of it. Also, if they are new to stats, we actually give them a review of stats also. Then the course starts, which is the Applied Labs. Now, Applied Labs is a concept that we believe very greatly in. We believe that our classrooms have to be designed in a way that we have people from diverse backgrounds in those classrooms, and that's what we call as Applied Labs, because when we give a problem, or when we are discussing a problem in the class, if everybody is a software engineer there, they will look at the problem from the same angle. However, if you have a software engineer in the class, a statistician in the class, somebody from a business domain, or from the business side of it, and somebody from actually the industry, you discuss a problem, you will hear their own viewpoint, their own perspective of the problem, and everybody would look at it at a little bit of a different way. And in that case, you create a very healthy discussion in the classroom, and that is why we try to create or have the classrooms very diversified. And that's the concept, or that's the thought behind Applied Labs, is that we would have people from diverse backgrounds in the class, so that there is a healthy discussion. And this Data Science Applied Labs portion runs for about 6 weeks on Saturdays, Sundays, and we start from introduction to Python and go to deep learning. And then once you graduate, or once you finish those 6 weeks, then you enter the project-based learning piece, where the project-based learning is kind of you do real-time projects, you do real-world projects. So you take a data set, you are given a business question, and you tackle that business question, and you try to answer that business question. Because in data science, everything has to answer a business question, because that's where the value comes in. So we are always addressing a business question, and in the project-based learning piece, you do 3 projects based on that. That also helps people who are new to the field build a portfolio, so that when they go for a contracting position, or if they go for a job, or if they go for a consulting position, they can say that they have built a recommendation system, they have done sentiment analysis, or they have done deep learning, and they can showcase those portfolio also. This is one of the options that we offer to people who are interested in becoming a data scientist, or at least getting on that path. do we have so this is the course, guys, that we run for 3 months. Kate, do we have the slide for the one that we run for 7 days?
Yeah, it's actually the next slide.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so for those who decide they want to speed up the process of learning data science, we have data science for professionals, which actually runs on the weekdays. It goes from Sunday all the way to Saturday, and it's basically mastering applied data science. Every single day of the program for the 7 days is actually 2 days of mastering applied data science. So you learn a whole two topics with their subtopics in each day. And right after you learn your concepts and such, we'll actually throw in projects afterwards, so you can apply what you learned, so you'll be able to stick better. And then after the entire program, we actually have 2 Kaggle projects that you can we'll be able to mentor you with. And then some people say that well, this is kind of like their only option because they don't want to do a whole 3 months, but they feel like the 7 days is too fast for them. We actually have a special type of offering that's different from other programs, something called lifetime membership, where those who want to come back, they can definitely come back and retake the course again. And then and then if you're out of state and you want to come in and take this program, we actually have accommodation options, but you actually have to contact us about that if you're interested. And yeah.
Okay, so the lifetime membership option seems very interesting. So if you take the course once, there is no additional charge, and I can come back and take that course again. And this is true for the 3 months also as well, right, Kate?
Yeah, it is true. The lifetime membership applies to all of our programs. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. So if somebody takes the course and for some reason misses a lecture or misses a day or wants to repeat, come back, there is no additional charge, and they can come back and take the course again.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good, very good. And can you share a little bit about what kind of topics are we going to cover on that, Kate?
Yeah. So like I said, each day is actually kind of 2 topics that the Saturday, Sunday class will actually compose of. So like day 1, we'll introduce you to data science, and then we'll start exploring some data using some techniques. And then day 2, we move on to data mining, utilizing NumPy and Pandas again, and then a short introduction on time series. Day 3 is where most people start to realize that data science is different from data analytics, because you start to learn some machine learning concepts. And then after we get the ball rolling, we actually move on to advanced machine learning concepts like classification and recommendation systems and such. And then day 4 is where most people like a breather. So we actually have what we call like a project day or a hack day, where you have one project on estimation and then another project on classification. So you'll be able to review the concepts that you've been learning the last 3 days, and then be able to apply it and kind of see where your strengths and weaknesses are, and then be able to focus on that. And then after the project day, we move on to day 5 and day 6, which actually composes of what is even differentiates data scientists from each other further. So each topic within these 2 days is actually a specialization all on their own. Some data scientists specialize in recommendation systems. Sometimes they specialize in natural language processing. Sometimes they work mostly with big data, and we teach big data. And then there's some data scientists that actually move into the field of artificial intelligence also. So there's computer vision, that includes a major project, and then deep learning. So those day 5 and 6 are what differentiate you from other data scientists also, because it's kind of like where you pick your specialization also. And then day 7, which is the last day, is where you decide whichever topic you were most interested in. So your first project, you can either do NLP or recommendation, or your second project where you can do computer vision or deep learning. So it's a lot of projects and it's a lot of concepts all at once. So that's why we have that lifetime membership option where you can totally come back and repeat basically the whole course again. So the second time around is always better than the first, as we've experienced before. So
yeah, I can totally see that this is a course which is fast paced, and you have to be like on top of it. You should have some background. A little bit of background would always help out, but this is a fast paced course. But the thing is that because of that option of that you can take it again, it gives you a little bit of a comfort, if I can say, if that's the right word, so that you can come back and take the course if you, for example, for some reason didn't get the deep learning piece done on the first attempt. You can come back and take that day or repeat the course and get that done. So that's great. And Kate, what cities are we offering this 7-day course out of presently?
Right now we have classes available in Irvine and Santa Monica, so we'll definitely be able to give you more information on when it starts. You have to contact us about it, and then we're open to other cities too, but right now it's Irvine and Santa Monica. Yeah.
All right. So what I got was that we are open to going to other cities. So if there is people in a different city, maybe if they are in Phoenix, Arizona, and they are interested, we can actually they can reach out to us, and we can let them know when we are planning to go there and maybe take the course there.
Yeah.
All right, that's very cool. Okay, perfect.
So this question actually gets asked a lot. Do we have any financing options?
Yes, we certainly do. We have for financing options like flexible payment terms. So you can we help you with the breaking down the payments into a couple of payments, maybe 3 payments. We do offer scholarships. We offer scholarships to veterans, to unemployed, as well as students. We also offer something which is called a PhD scholarship. So if you already have a PhD, we do have some special scholarships for people who are already PhDs, because they are actually a domain expert for sure, and data science is a good fit for them. So we offer that as an incentive for those people to actually acknowledge their accomplishment of a PhD. So there's a PhD scholarship as well available. And then if you are a corporation and if you're looking to maybe do a group of students, we do have group discounts available for students. So anybody can avail any of these options. You just have to mention them or reach out to us when you're ready to take the course.
Yeah. In that case, there's actually some testimonials we've had of some students going through our courses. We've had actually a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds actually talk about how well the experience was with us. We have people from biostatistics, logistics, retail, finance, some that are just software developers and then moving into the field of data science. So it doesn't matter what background you come from, data science is open for you. So,
yeah, and I believe, Kate, that we have it on our website also, the testimonial page. So if any of these participants are interested in listening to what some of the previous students have to say, they can go to our website and check those testimonials out as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. Our testimonials are available on our website. at TheDevMasters.com.
Very cool, very cool.
Yeah. And then again, here are some pictures of students in our classrooms and some of our events. So you'll actually be able to see the people that actually want to learn data science. So, yeah.
Yeah, we did different size of groups, I guess.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So, what's the next step, Zion?
All right. So guys, for you, the next step. What's the next step? So the next step that you can do is that for those of you who are in the LA, Orange County area, we have a location in Santa Monica as well as in Irvine, and we go to a couple of other cities as well, in terms of Long Beach, Fullerton, Riverside. So if you are in the Southern California area, you are welcome to come and attend a advanced session. That's an in-person session. You can reach out to us and we'll be happy to send you an invite for that. There are advanced sessions available that you can attend that will give you a little bit more insight into data science. Those sessions are actually hands-on, so you actually do some coding as well. So if you are interested in the field, and if you are exploring, and if you want to see what data science can do, and what kind of options are available, at least with us, you are welcome to come to those advanced sessions. So please do reach out to us. For those people who just have a general question or want to find out a little bit or looking for some kind of a mentorship, you are welcome to reach out to the team members that you saw earlier, and we will be happy to have a chat with you. We can do a Skype call, or if you are local, we can do a face-to-face meeting or a phone call, and we will be happy to help you out or answer any questions that you might have. So the second option that you have is that you can book a meeting with one of our team members and maybe discuss whatever your thoughts are on that. Now, if you are an entrepreneur, there's a third option for you. If you have a project or a idea that you want to explore, and would like to maybe get a POC done, we will be very glad to talk to you and find out how we can work together to actually get your POC off the ground. So we are happy to talk to people or entrepreneurs who have an idea or a thought and would like to get started on that. So these are the three options that you have, that you can take as a next step. But if nothing else, guys, keep learning, because you are thinking it's really exciting times, and you're in data science, and you're thinking or at least considering a great career in data science, and these are great exciting times for anybody who's in the field of data science. So I would like to thank everybody who attended the webinar for joining us today. Hopefully the information was helpful. Guys, this is an exciting time. Data science has lots of opportunities in the field. If you just go to Glassdoor or Indeed and search open positions in data science, you will find out that there are tons and tons of opportunities available in America as well as in the world, where you can start your career and build a great career based on those. So please keep learning. If you have, again, as Kate said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. But thanks again for joining, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.